Alrighty. Hello again, this is Trace Majestus, and I see a bunch of people that jumped in the stream ahead of me, but that's great. Game's taking a little bit to come up. But, Lynn, Captain, A4, glad to see you. Hope you're all doing well. And here we are back in the beta. So let's get this party started. Yeah, there's a never-ending set of things that need to be done, but congratulations on getting your Corvette. All right. Oh, 60K system. I'm gonna have to close the window before too long. It's a bit chilly out there, and there's a cool breeze coming in my window right next to me.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Yeah. It's exactly 256 that time. Cool. All right. Oh, I need the spreadsheet. All right. No water worlds, no Earth likes, no rings, but still 60K worth of system. Okay. On to the next one. Not far enough, and then suddenly too far. Okay, lovely. Seven. Out of range. Just barely out of range. No. What about this one, maybe? It's in that one. Well, let's see what happens. bad system anyway, but yeah, she's not the system you're looking for. System, yep. With that kind of price, I gotta wonder if one of these guys here is a terraformable. Congratulations, John.
Good evening.
Good evening, Lynn.
It didn't say terraformable on any of them.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and when I seen her, I thought, ooh. And when I got out there and FSS them, it was like, oh.
System map.
But some of them was like Kodak.
Well, yeah, Kodak is just the first time in this sector you've discovered a certain thing.
Yeah.
I won't get any Kodak entries because I've been out here before and I've gotten just about every type of system. But yeah, if you click on the second tab from the left, the one with the I suppose you call it the details pane, and strobe over each of the systems. Oh,
Yeah,
one of them's gotta be something because that's a lot of money.
I know it, but I didn't see, and even I had EDDI on, and usually if there's anything that's worth any credits, he'll say, you should map Planet 2 or Planet 2. And he just, nothing in here.
That's weird. That's a lot of money.
John is, he got something for $8, and he's in solo now.
He got elite for $8, yeah.
Ooh, good job. Congratulations.
Yep.
Is that, that's without the Horizons though, right?
That might even be with Horizons. There's a major sale on it right now because of the carrier release.
Oh, cool.
So.
Well, good job, John. I had to spend $60 for Elite Dangerous and Horizons.
Let me see, where is this page?
Actually, it's the best $60 I ever spent. Very entertaining, keeps me occupied, and
oh, $8 is just the base game. You need to spend the 15 for Horizons.
Yeah, Horizons doesn't that allow you to land on the planets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would suggest upgrading to pick up Horizons, John, so you can do planetary landings.
Yeah, and then you can join Trish jumping off his stuff and seeing how far he can fly his SRV.
Please conclude any remaining business in this system prior to departure.
And as far as practicing, it said I just checked the Steam page, and $8 was Elite Dangerous just by itself. 15 was Elite plus Horizons plus the Commander's Pack. So I would double check what you got. Um, you don't want to miss out on Horizons if you can get it at such a cheap price.
No, if you want to go anywhere in Elite, you're going to have it so you can mine minerals and materials and stuff.
Yeah, it's the price right now is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. They had the Corvette was on sale too. Instead of being 187 million, it cost me 164 million.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So I got to go out and mine one load to make it. Well, then I spent 500 million on the Corvette A-classing stuff, and it's like, wow, look at all that mining I did for nothing.
No, you didn't do it for nothing. You did it for your Corvette.
Which I'll probably never pull out of the dry dock.
Oh, believe me, once you get used to pounding stuff with the cutter, eventually you want to go jump into a more challenging combat area, and you'll say, well, why don't I go finish off that Corvette and see just how much more damage I can do.
That's true. I did while I had time sit here and calculate, stripping down this cutter on everything I couldn't live without for the track back when we finally get way out yonder. And I got it where I can get about 30 light years a jump.
That's a good distance.
So I'm happy, and I didn't have to give up no shields or no protection.
Mm-hmm.
And still got one or two weapons.
Yeah, the cutter's an amazing ship.
Oh, yeah. But I would love it if they'd let that cutter go up there like my Diamondback, about 50 jumps. Yeah, I'd love that. And not have to be bare bones,
Uh-huh. Don't I know it. But I mean, that's kind of what I get the Conda for. If I want to have armaments, and it won't be quite A-rated, but I can get the cutter doing 45 or so and be well armed.
Well, that's cool. I got to ask you a question. On this long track back, in our cutters,
Mm-hmm.
the auto maintenance thing,
Yep.
is that sort of a good thing to have aboard?
Depends how long you're planning on taking to get back. The longer you plan to be out here, the more likely you'll need it.
Okay.
Any passengers who wish to remain in this system must depart the carrier at once.
I lost my Fed license accidentally and had to restart.
Oopsie.
Doggone it. I hate that when it happens.
Fuel scoop is a necessary thing. I don't make a ship without one.
Yeah, I got the fuel scoop.
Yeah. I'll be back in just a sec. I want to get a sweater or something. It's a little chilly here at the moment.
Okay. A4 and Cap, are you guys still mining, or what are you guys doing?
There, that should do it. Fuzzy slippers, fleece pullover. If I still
You
need...
have your rabbit slippers on.
I actually don't have a pair of rabbit slippers per se.
Uh-oh.
I think these are alpaca. Or at least alpaca fleece inside them. Of course A4 is going to eventually buy a carrier. We'll have so much fun going out on this one, he'll rush right back and buy one for himself.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that. I'll tell you what, by the time I get done jumping back from whenever we get out here, I probably won't even want to see another carrier as long as I live.
Well, that's also a possibility.
I mean, I do like to go out 8, 10, 12,000 light years, but 55,000 light years and then try to scoot back in a 25 light year jump ship. Yeah, okay.
Well, you don't have to do it that way. If you want, you could just, you could put less on yours.
Attention. Carrier has entered pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
So
that's true, that's true.
And just drag it around. Take it out 5,000 light years and explore around, and then go jump another 500 light years or 1,000 light years in a given direction and explore around. And when you start getting a little low on tritium, jump it back to the bubble. Buy the tritium rather than mining for it, so it doesn't take time. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, that's not going to happen when you get way out there, though. We found that out because unless it changes in the live game, when you get out there as far as we are, you're going to have to mine this stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is you don't need to go out so far as we're going. If you have your own, you take your own carrier and you load it up with a full 19,000 plus tons. You go tool around for 8, 10,000 in random direction, then turn around and scoot it back, but to the place you can buy tritium from. Reload with tritium, pick another direction.
That'd be cool.
And you could just.
I don't know. I kind of like just being a nomad, just roam.
Well, that works too.
Hitch a ride on yours, and then come back and. Somebody else will go in a direction that's curious to me, and okay, I'll go, yeah.
Attention all ships. Hyperspace travel is imminent. Please maintain a safe distance from the carrier.
It is laggy, yes, Cap. It is laggy. It's when you jump, it's got that jitter again, like they had with the Beta 1. See, and I'm still seeing white streaks across, like it's trying to catch up with the frame. What do they call that? The frames.
Frame rate.
Yeah, frame rate is lagging, and white streak across there. Limpets are going through asteroids instead of hitting them quite a bit now. I wasted probably 40 limpets because I was only like 800 whatever from it, and it went right through it.
Attention. Counting down the jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the one thing I'm going to miss once I drop my carrier off at its destination. It's getting to hear the epic sound. Yeah.
And then you can kind of cut it up in sound bites and put it to overlays, so when your cutter jumps, it does it. found a comet? Where'd you find a comet at?
He didn't. That wasn't a comet. That was another ship. Unfortunately, I don't think there are any comets in the game yet.
Well, I haven't seen any, that's for sure.
But the one thing in the game that looks like a comet is when you're in Super Cruise and you're close to another ship.
Oh, hey, Cat, we gotta go out here.
Oh man, look at this system.
We gotta go see what this. We're not gonna make our rendezvous date, anyways. We may find a tritium triples hotspot.
If you're in Super Cruise, that's a ship. Alright, so let's fill up the carrier before I go anywhere.
Yeah. Are we gonna check this system out real quick?
Oh, yes we are.
Okay, I'll get up on deck then.
Cargo hold at maximum
In
capacity.
if in FSO scan, if you want to start to the highest ones, I'll start at the lowest ones. Meet you in the middle.
Alright. Alright.
Wow, a lot of stars. Phew.
Oh my goodness. Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Launch underway.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Pay that much just for 9 bodies?
Let's see what... Oh, we got an Earth-like. Or a water world. And it will be terraformable. .09 Earth masses. Ooh, 7.8 atmospheres. Ooh. Oh, that's hot too. Okay. Oh, maybe not. It's 290 kelvin, so that's not hot. System map.
Paid that much just for one terraformable candidate?
Oh yeah.
Five geologicals on that one landable.
Well, that's also worth some money. Alright.
Has 2.1% arsenic.
Oh, that's nice. System map. 5 geological sites.
You gonna map that terraformable, or are you just gonna call it good?
I'm just gonna call it good. We'll map it when we come out for real.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's a mill right there, mapping that baby.
Right.
All right. Cool beans.
Back to the ship.
Disengage.
Dropping out of FTL.
Welcome, Commander. Communications are open if you require docking access.
Oops. That happens. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Docking request accepted. Maintain an appropriate speed during approach.
Yeah, that happens. I've done it before too.
Yep.
Or you deliver it, and then you forget to give it to him, and then you take off.
That's a good one. You go there and leave and never deliver. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Hey, Super. Good evening to you.
Docking accomplished. Ship has
Oh, I do that all the time. Execute loop of shame again and again and again. Absolutely. All right, filled up on tritium. And let's set up the next jump.
Well, that was a nice little price tag. 676,792 credits. I wonder if it gave us any. Well, it probably gave me a first. Oh, yeah. 683,542.
Yep.
I will put, there's an Earth, let's see, what was it? Yeah, terraformable.
Terraformable here, yeah. Minimum price on a terraformable, even if somebody's already, you know, found it, it's still a mill. 499.04. Yeah, we can do that.
Congrats, Supermax. You killed 4 pirates in the Eagle today. That's good, that's good.
That's a nice thing.
I ran away from 3, so. I would have turned around and fought him, but I was loaded down with 216 low temp diamonds, and I wasn't about to take a chance of making a mistake.
Oh, run at them as fast as you can and just run over them. Pork. They're just speed bumps. That's what I do with those small maneuverable ships now. I don't even bother to engage them. I just boost at them. After a couple of tries, they make a mistake, and, well...
Oh, that planet that has the polonium on it?
Yeah.
It's at that HIP system. It's from where I'm at. Let's see, from Sol, it's 1,000, or no, from Shinrada,
Mm-hmm.
1,500 some odd light years.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, since I'm parked here at Shinrada at the Jamerson's Memorial because I bought my Corvette here, so it's only going to cost me like $32,000. I think I'll bring the Diamondback over since it gets about 55, 60 jumps. Jump down there and
Yep.
get all I can get.
I might take the Condor and go there just in a few jumps.
Let me take it down and sending for a light year jump.
I do like my Anaconda. I love flying it, too.
I think the Python, I don't mind the Python too bad. I flew it probably 8,000 light years out.
Oh, yeah, Anaconda's just a big python.
Yeah. Got that doggone nose out there.
So's a python, but that's okay. You don't notice it as much because it's a medium-sized ship, but
Right.
it's basically almost exactly the same layout.
But I will have to say, as overall, with 30 light years, you know, my Diamondback before I put got it grade 5 was 30, and that was almost seemed like the perfect light year jump for like exploring. That way you didn't miss too many things.
Right.
And it was, but you know, the cutter, you could set it up for combat, you could set it up for exploring, mining, cargo. It's and then if you get in trouble with a pirate, you still got something that you can kind of kick some butt with, unless it's a Corvette or a open, where open players can get to you.
Yeah, well, I really like the Anaconda since the first time I got in it, and like I said, I've taken this particular ship to Beagle Point and back twice. So I got.
Supermax wants to ask you something. Do you think this Anaconda?
I don't understand the sentence.
Oh,
Oh,
I think he's asking,
am I gonna marry it?
Yeah. Cherish it till you both blow up.
Oh God, I've blown it up a couple of times actually. Both times on high G planets that I made a mistake coming in on.
I do a 2.0 gravity world, but anything higher than that is like, I don't think it's got anything I really, really want to see.
Hmm.
Attention. This carrier has scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any remaining business in this system prior to departure.
A lot of times I'll try and do something just to see if I can.
Well, yeah. The only thing I can think of is that, thank God for the fuel scoop, or not fuel scoop, but the cargo scoop. It's saved me several times from getting in trouble, slowed me down to where I could get it back under control.
Hmm.
Or landing gear. Either one that I accidentally hit kind of slows me down.
Yep. Well, it's one of the things that the Diamondback Explorer is much better at than the Anaconda, is landing on high G planets. Because your thrust to weight ratio tends to be a lot better.
Right.
Plus, you can look down, because it's got that glass bottom to the cockpit, you can look down and sort of eyeball your landing. Whereas the Anaconda, if on a heavy G planet, if you try and turn sideways to look down and eyeball where you want to put it down, you're going to drop like a stone.
Yeah, but the only other thing is turn completely upside down, and then you're really disoriented.
Well, no, because then you can't get back around to land.
Or to thrust.
Right, because the thrusters only work good if you're either vertically one way or the other. So yeah, it gets to be interesting to land on a high G planet with this big behemoth. I've failed more times than I've succeeded. And even
What would it be like to land the Corvette? Because the Corvette's even bigger than the Anaconda.
yeah, and it's much harder to rig the Corvette for distance. Now, if I hadn't tried,
My Corvette right now is sitting at 28, almost 30 light years.
that's pretty good for a Corvette.
Yeah. And all I got is the engineered 5, grade 5,
Mm-hmm.
and the Guardian frame shift drive booster.
Yep. But then again, what do you have on it for weapons at this point? What do you have on it for shield boosters? Do you have the Guardian shield boosters in? Yeah, all of that stuff that takes up more weight and cuts down on your distance. I forget what distance mine is sitting at right now. I think it's just under 20.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's loaded for bear.
Super Max wants care to guess what was the hardest thing I had to do on ED. Fly through the mail slot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or fighter Thargoid.
Well, there's one of the engineers that has a 2G planet, and landing on their landing pad is a real pain in the behind.
That's why I like my advanced docking. Fighting his pilot's knife.
Well, that's one of the reasons I like the name I've got. There's nobody else thinks of it.
I could tell you a whole bunch of stories, but the easiest thing to say is the easiest thing for me on Elite is turning on the computer. There you go. Because it's just like landing on this carrier and everything, and here I was getting ready, excited for the trip, and what I do, I slip off the carrier and have to land before it takes off.
Here we go.
Attention. Carrier has entered pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
Landing pads retracted. Hangar base secured.
I'll tell you what, I'm fixing to take this keyboard back. It's supposed to be a
wouldn't blame you.
high-quality Corsair, and I've slowed down the repeat cycle on it. I've updated it. I've done everything, and my B key keeps wanting to repeat.
Yep, I would take that back. The debounce is busted on that key. My wife and daughter both have those Corsairs, and they really love them.
Maintenance task information is
Oh yeah, it's easy typing and everything. It's just if I type anything with a B, I have to remember to look to make sure that it didn't repeat.
Attention all ships. Hyperspace travel is imminent. Please maintain a safe distance from the carrier.
The other thing you might want to do is there should have been a key tool that came with it. Might want to pop the B off and try pressing the button and see if it's the button or if it's the mechanics in the key.
attention all carrier crew. Braking drive engaged.
And if it's just the button and the key, you could just go to the Corsair website, or as long as it's the button and not the key and not the button, you could just send away for a new one from Corsair.
Yeah, I got the tool. It had a little toolbox with it.
Yep.
I'm sure glad this automatically brings you into the carrier because I forgot all about going inside.
At least you're not going to float off into space.
Right.
Nice. Alrighty.
Do I even want to look? Holy moly.
I see. That's funny.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Lord.
I'm gonna go take a look.
Are you really?
Yeah. Why not? See what we're gonna be running into on the way out here.
Okie doke, Commander.
Track landing gear.
It's released.
Landing gear detected.
Move clear of the landing pad.
It'll only take me a second. So.
Okay, I'll sit here and wait on you. I'll look at the scattering of stars since there's not so many of them.
Frameshift drive charging.
They're calling to you, every single one of them. They all want you to visit.
Explore. Explore.
"15 bodies.
Well, now that makes more sense at $250,000 than what we was 9.
Yeah.
50,000, excuse me. Credits.
Yeah. I wish I could make dollars as fast as I make credits.
Oh yeah. Ooh, looks like we might have some rings there. Oh,
Some rings there. So we got two gas giants. High metal content, metal rich body. Nice. That's always nice to see. System map. Alright, so we've got a Class F and one with rings. Ah, metallic and rocky. Alright.
Of course.
No tritium here. Now we just spin back around.
A bunch of landables, though. Was there any biological or geological on them?
Well, I'll look when I get back into the carrier.
Okay, no problem. Oh, I guess I could. Duh.
Disengage.
Leaving hyperspace.
Welcome, Commander. Follow standard flight protocols around this carrier.
The FSS, you have one on your ship. And I don't know what key you've got it bound to. Open hailing frequencies. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Docking request accepted. You are welcome to approach, Commander.
Better be welcome to approach. That's my carrier. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
And then the Thargoids appear. And the ship bugs out without me. Come back!
I did that deal. Well, you'd probably have to go into your menu to options and go into your bindings and see what it's I believe it says FSS scanner.
Secure. Welcome to this carrier, Commander.
Here, I'll quickly go to it. Let's see, to get there, I need to go here. Options, controls, and mode switches. Enter FSS mode right there.
And if you have it bound to a key, it will tell you what key. And if there's blank, then you can, I have the brackets. One bracket is to enter into it, and the other bracket is to get out of it. Well, that one right close to the main star has 26 geologicals on it.
Nice. That would weigh into the price a little.
Yeah, it has 13.2 carbon, 8.5 phosphorus. Germanium is 4.7, tungsten is 1.2, polonium 0.6%.
That's pretty high for that's about max for polonium. In fact, I think that 0.7 might be max for polonium, but so that's really close to max. So if you want to get the FSD boost here, good place to get polonium.
Wow, you went out there and scanned them planets?
Mm-hmm.
And I got 756,290 credits for it.
Nice.
Sitting here sipping my coffee, eating my ice cream bar while you do all the hard work.
Oh, I didn't grab my ice cream. Ah. Of all the things to forget.
I think you need to change the name of your ship from Emerald Tablet to One Scoop. Or Triple Dip or something. Yeah, Emerald Green. Emerald Tablet's pretty cool name.
Well, it's associated with the same mythological character that I draw my character name from. So, since Trismegistus wrote the Emerald Tablet.
We come out here and we scan every system that this ship goes through, and you sell your data, and I sell my data, and if we have anybody else on board with us and they sell their data, shoot, you might get a year's upkeep by the time we get to where we're going.
That is entirely possible.
Because I've made probably $7 million, and it's not like we scanned every system.
No. No, we take our time going out there and scan a bunch of stuff on the way. The carrier's going to have plenty of money. $756K. Nice.
So now we know for sure if we're winged up, I can sit here on the deck and drink my coffee, my feet up. You go do all the hard work and the reward. I don't have to go out there and
you could be the supervisor, huh?
Yeah, sit here and make sure. Hey, probe to the left there now.
Instead of being the crane operator, you can be the road crew chief, huh?
Yeah. Never wanted to be the supervisor. Never wanted it. Nope.
Nope, because everybody's mistake is yours.
Yeah. Somebody said, oh, the only reason why I didn't want it was because I was be on call 24 hours or 24/7, and it's like, what are you talking about? I'm the crane operator. I'm on call 24/7, and I don't get to go home when you guys do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've still got to set the whole thing back together.
Well, like when we're drilling for the columns that go underneath the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
At quitting time, everybody else would gather up their stuff and go home, and I'd still be drilling on that hole. And I may drill till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning to get it down so they'd have something to do the next day.
Right.
Boss would come out about every 2 hours, bring me coffee or a sandwich or an ice cream bar and see how I was doing.
Yep. And then even after you get everything drilled down, you got to pull it back up, and then you got to retract the crane and fold up the arm and this, that, and the other thing, whatever it takes to get it ready to go on the road to the next location.
Oh, no. Mine, no, it was a track crane. You don't take hit on the road. Most generally, I walk it on a barge, and they push me out there in the middle of the big body of water, and there's where I'm at drilling, putting in a new bridge or something.
Oh man, don't overbalance.
No, we had it down to a fine art where center was.
Well, you'd have to.
No, A4, no. When you're crewing with Trish, you don't get a dime.
Yeah, crewing was bad idea.
Yeah, my superintendent, he was pretty good. He didn't ask anybody to do anything that he himself would. I mean, he if we were tying steel, getting ready to pour deck, and he'd jump out there and start tying steel with us to get it, to help get it done or whatever. I mean, he was a working supervisor, I guess you'd call it, which everybody appreciated.
Any remaining business in the system prior to departure.
Well, the same thing goes for architects and software. I mean, there's architects that just dictate. Nobody likes them. But those, won't continue that. But then there's the ones that code, and everybody respects them. Because they're willing to roll up their arms and get their elbows dirty and find out if their decisions actually work.
Yeah. The only thing I will ever say derogatory is that there's never been a bridge built in this United States that ever went according to the engineer's plans.
I can believe that.
Because somewhere, some way, it just won't work.
Mm-hmm.
And God love them. They're in an office probably 1,000 miles away, probably never been to the job site. All they're doing is basing it off of measurements
And all it takes is 3 inches wrong.
Yeah, all it takes is just the surveyor just not have the survey tool quite centered, just a hair.
Yep.
And by the time you get to the other end, it's off 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the engineer is required, basically relying on other people to do their jobs absolutely right. When you're talking about that kind of distance, you have to. But, and if the guy on the other end doesn't do it quite right, if he's even just a little sloppy.
Or even if he's got the grade rod over there and he's kind of leaning it one way forward or backwards or sideways, you'd be surprised at how much that'll throw you off.
Not really. When I started, when I went to college, I actually didn't go for computer science, even though I knew that's where I would end up eventually. Because computer science is taught as a science. It's not taught as engineering. So they teach you all this neat stuff about how things work, but none of it really applies in the real world. And they don't, you can't design software because you've never been taught to design anything. And so I ended up going for electrical engineering, which is cross-trained on civil, mechanical, and several others. So I know a little bit about each. And boy, it doesn't take much. Well, I mean, that's the problem with starting, things that are taught as a science and things that are taught as engineering. Things that are taught as a science are very good at figuring out what can be done. Things that are taught about engineering there's a lot of emphasis on how to design it so that it's done right.
There's the talking about it, and then there's the hands-on doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's To me, I mean, yes, I like the scholars are okay in the world, but to me, we got to get back to the basics of when you send somebody to school and they're going for a computer programmer, you send them in there and let them learn computer programming, hands-on, build this, make this, have it happen.
Sure,
You
which
don't
is
sit there and talk to them about the philosophy of how you would do that.
no, but one of the things they do, they basically give them these directions on solving the same basic 20 or 25 problems in so many different ways, so many different this, that, and the other thing, but they never they never teach them how to design anything. So they get out in the real world and they've got this vast gap in their knowledge where you could tell them, you know, if you lay out exactly what they need to do, sure, they can pound code. But don't ask them to figure out how to do it. They can't. That's a skill they have to learn. And they don't teach it in any of the CS programs. Which is why I took an EE program and I got a CS minor. Also,
That's a disservice to them.
yes, but that's the way academia is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I understand. But
Yeah, that's
a disservice because they're setting them up to fail.
Yep, absolutely. They treat design as something that the plebeians have to do. It's beneath them. Whereas the engineering schools are like, yeah, we teach people how to design because designing needs to happen.
I guess I'm just an old school type of girl, though. You know, book work is fine, but if you can't actually get out there and actually see what you're doing or hands-on doing, then you miss the concept of what it really is like.
Yep.
And over the 20 years of building bridges, I had to talk to like 4 or 5 different engineers at a time, at one given time in my history, because they messed up on the blueprints because they were given the wrong measurements or whatever. I'm not going to say it's all their fault. It could be anybody's fault.
Mm-hmm.
But I asked them if they ever came out on a job site and actually watched the concept be done, and they said no. And I was like, well, that's your first mistake.
Yeah. What's a good cargo ship? Depends how much money you have.
Depends. You want one that you don't have to worry about pirates trying to blow you up. Type 9.
Well,
Cutter. About any of them can be used as cargo. It just depends on how you want to do it.
and what size landing pad you want to be landing on.
Yes, there are large, medium, and small landing pads.
Yep. The Python for a medium-sized ship is, of course, a pretty darn good cargo ship. But so is the Type 6. Although the Type 6 is a bit slow and a bit lacking in defensive measures.
And if you talk to 40 or 50 commanders, they'll all give you a different type of ship.
Despite the fact that there's only 38 total ships in the game. Yeah. Is it 38? I think it's less than that, but whatever.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
everybody's got their opinion.
And you like the cutter and you like the anaconda, and I've seen. All you got to do is watch the YouTube videos. Everybody's got it, or they got the same ship and it's outfitted totally different, and you're sitting there going,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm biased, but my personal opinion is, if you want a good cargo ship, or you want a good explorer ship, or a fairly decent explorer ship, or you want a good combat ship, or you want a good mining ship, watch Trish's videos about his cutter. Watch him take on pirates. Watch him mine. Watch him do all his stuff. And you'll come to realize that the cutter is kind of, except for maybe not having a very, yeah. Oh, you have 240K. Yeah, you're not going to get nowhere near a cutter.
Nope.
240 million. 204 million will get you the cutter, I think. And then another 300 or 400 million to outfit it right.
Yep. So you're still in the smaller ships, which means I don't think you can even afford a Python on that.
5, 4, 3,
240,000 is what he's got.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what I could set up on a 240K. I think the Python's still more than that.
He can get a Cobra 3 Mark 3. No, you can't either. Sorry. About the only thing he can afford is a Sidewinder, an Eagle Mark II, a Hauler, Adder, Imperial Eagle, Viper Mark 3.
Of those, what I did was I stayed in the Sidewinder until I could afford the Cobra.
And that is at 340,720 credits.
Yep. So what I did was I stayed in the Sidewinder until I could afford the Cobra, and I did data missions, low cargo, and little bit of bounty hunting. But not the bounty hunting missions, just going to the nav beacon and killing a few things.
Well, that was disappointing. 0 credits.
Hey! Okay.
Oh.
Means we're a long ways out.
We got a ring. We got a ring.
System map. Oh. We got a brown dwarf with a ring around it. Okay. Cool. And we got a bunch of stuff in between. And the reason we didn't get a whole lot is because we're so far out. This could be a big system.
Yep.
Don't know. But if I jump out at every system, we'll never even get any further than this.
Yep.
Not that it much matters, since we're in beta.
Dark here, too.
Oh, are you out in the hull?
Yep.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
I'm just looking.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't left the ship. Oh, yeah, and you have to have enough for insurance in case you blow your ship up, or else you go back to the Sidewinder.
Hmm. Yeah, well, tonight actually might be the last night that I'm in beta. Because I've basically learned everything I need to learn at this point. And right now I'm just marking further along the course. So I think that's what I'll do is I'll just get another jump in here.
Sounds good. I'll just put interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to Well, we'll have to pop out at every system along the way and at least take a look.
Yeah, if we'd have had a planet where we got tritium back on closer to the bubble and filled it up before we got so far down, it may not have took so long to fill it up again.
Mm-hmm.
And Cap, yeah, the last beta that I was helping Trish with the ceramic composites, Monday morning I went in there, and I'm in Oklahoma, so it's Central Time. Monday morning I went in there, and beta 1 was gone. So I'm just assuming that tomorrow, when we wake up, the beta 2 will be gone.
So we'll have about 66 of about 100 jumps done. By the end, maybe 68 or 69, whatever. Oops. It lost the focus. All right. Pop up onto the hull. What's that? The copper paint job there, Lynn?
On me, it's black and gold.
Black and gold. Okay. Yeah.
I forget. Let's see.
I could look it up.
Oh, I'll get it here in a minute.
We're so far away from the star you can't even see it. Okay. Oh, there it is. Way over there.
think it's called the Asemic Black and Gold. ASEMIC.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, like I said, I was trying to get away with lighter colors because the glare when you're flying around the bright suns, the main stars and stuff was bothered me, so I wanted to go with something kind of flatter so it would reflect back. How far did you get out there, Cap? If you don't mind me asking.
Attention, this carrier has scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any remaining business in this system prior to departure. Carrier jump successful. Telemetry checks in progress.
Oh, it's a Asemic Black and Gold. There it is.
He's in a peddler now? Oh. Oh, a pedal pusher. Okay, yeah, yeah. You going to a Guardian site or you going to a Thargoid site?
Attention. Carrier jump sequence is underway. Lockdown begins in 5 minutes.
You know what you should do, Cap? Is take that carrier, park it right there by Boan 2, load up about 18,000 tons of LTVs in it, and then go sell it. You'd be rich. that may actually be why. I don't know. I haven't checked in the beta, but that may be why the prices of low temp diamonds and the real is tanking, is because maybe they think that people are gonna take them carriers and load up on the diamonds and then jump and then crash the market.
I know some people are going to try it, but the hard part with doing it from Baran, though, is that the triple hotspot's going to be gone.
Yeah. I'm gonna work at that puppy tomorrow. Probably make me 3 or 4 runs at it. I've been doing pretty good. I've figured out exactly where to drop in to where I can come up with like 196 to 250 tons every time.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, if you find a spot that's working for you, you might as well keep going back to it. And then when they change the change the equation a little when this goes live again, well, gotta find a new hotspot.
Yep. Well, what you do, Cap, is you put your carrier out there, and a lot of those miners, say you find the highest price, and then knock it down about 400,000 or 500,000 because you're right there. There is no jumping. You just go from the LTD to the carrier, and you knock it down 300,000 or 400,000. They sell right there, and they go right back to mining.
And then you have a medium size and a large size cargo ship that you bring with it. And once the carrier's full, you go jump to wherever the expensive is and use the appropriate sized ship and
you make a killing, 400,000 or 500,000 on each load you haul.
yeah, and you don't have to worry about mining it all the time because somebody else mined it for you.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry too much about pirates, because it's usually, 8 light seconds away from the station.
Yeah. You pop up, the pirates think they're coming after you, you drop down, the station takes care of the pirates for you.
Reverse, rinse, and reverse, and repeat.
Yep. All right, here we go for the next jump.
I'm learning this stuff. Mr. Trish is a pretty good teacher. I've done a lot of the Guardian stuff. I haven't done that Rata run that they say you can make 200 million if you've completed in, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, and something. But I did get all the blueprints for weapons, modules, and ships. I got enough to completely do that. But it's pretty fun, the Guardians. Once you get the hang of where everything's at,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
That's why I like Down to Earth Astronomy's tutorial on that. It basically got me real close to knowing exactly what I needed to do. And after a few minutes in, I kind of figured out what I needed to do as me. And then it just became, okay, let's just do this and get it done. Although I might go back to the carrier sites just to shoot the buggers.
Yeah. I mean, you get combat points for it.
Yep.
Maintenance task confirmation is acknowledged. All vessels are prepared for hyperspace.
Goes Pimp Master for LTDs. No, I don't think so.
Attention all ships. Hyperspace travel is imminent. Please maintain a safe distance
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
System map. Big bright star. Ooh, it's a Class A. 10,000 Kelvin. Oh my God, it's hot. All right. System map.
don't like the elevator music, John?
What, you don't like a little bit of classical music? That's the one thing you don't get with a carrier jump is the epic intros when you come into the destination systems.
Wait till you're out there in the middle of nowhere, not very many stars, and it's dark, and that eerie music comes on, and you start looking around and start looking at your radar, and you're like, oh, something's going to jump out at any minute and get you, and it's like, oh, where can I hide?
There's one planet that it was particularly nasty on. The planet had basically a green fog on it. And the creepiest, absolutely creepiest background music while you were down planet side. Found myself looking over my shoulder half the time to see what was coming up behind me.
Yeah. And then you go to these settlements that are abandoned, and you get into their data logs, and they were telling you about strange stuff happening, and the eerie music starts, and you go to looking around like, oh, what is it? Where is that? Is it coming? What I wish is all the stuff that they got on here, they'd have something that says, Commander, there's a ship behind you.
Yeah. Commander, bandit on your 6. Bandit on your... Oh, shit, we're dead. They're gonna kill us. Oh, that'd be good. I gotta get a Mater voice from Cars.
Oh my God.
They're gonna get you.
Oh Lord, here we go. Oh, Miter was pretty good.
That was hilarious.
Yep.
My name is Mater, just like tomato, but without the "t."
It always surprises me though. You know, you got the fastest ship out there, and you're zooming towards the space station, and out of the blue, a pirate shows up behind you, and he's faster than you are. Even though there's no other ship faster than yours, but he could sure chase you down.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, in some ways,
Don't make no sense.
actually, it does. He's still accelerating when he gets to you. You're decelerating to hit the station.
Yeah.
So you'll notice they when they do that, they usually hit you pretty late on when you're slowing down to get into the station, not when you're speeding up.
Attention. This carrier has scheduled
Yeah, but I've had him catch me like 1,000 light seconds out, and that, you know, like it'd be 2 or 3 1,000 light seconds to the station, and I get about 1,000 light seconds away from the sun, full bore, going as fast as I can. They pop in behind the sun and catch me within 500 light seconds. I was like, what kind of ship is that dude got?
Mm-hmm.
Or, like when you're fighting the interdiction,
Yep.
and you win, or if you lose, you take damage, and if your frame shift has to cool off. And what I think is if you beat the interdiction, he should get just as much damage.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of ways the game cheats just to make it somewhat challenging.
What I find is fascinating is that in solo and in private group, you can beat the interdictions, but when you're in open, no, you can't beat them.
I beat him in open, as long as it's not a player.
Yeah, if a player interdicts you, there's no beating it.
Well, it's certainly harder.
There are so many things that could make this game even that much more nice, but oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Mr. Cap. Have a good evening.
Have a good night, Cap. We're going to take your life support offline. We apologize for any inconvenience.
your breath for the next 5 minutes, please. Oh, and just for the record, it's 28,606 credits. 88 hours and 19 minutes to bring my diamond back here.
Diamond back.
I could almost buy, what, 20 of them at that price?
Something like that.
Not too much there, John. Usually if I'm hungry, I'll go find me some crackers or something at least. Potato chips, some toast or something.
$1.3 billion to get the cutter here.
Boy, that cut into your profit, wouldn't it?
Here we go.
Attention. Carrier has entered pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
All ashore, let's go on ashore. This carrier's about to go.
Landing pads retracted. Hangar base secured.
I think I'll mine for the next 6 days and then call it good on getting the credits and then start in on... I gotta find, while I'm mining, I gotta look around to find me some paint. I need to get me 10 tons of that for Celine Jean.
Just go to the miner's tool. It's easy enough to get paintite.
Hyperspace travel is
Oh yeah, just doing it.
from the carrier.
Go to one of the double hotspots. You'll have 10. You'll have your however many tons in just a few minutes.
I just need 10. Yeah, 10 units. 10 tons, 10 units.
Attention all carrier crew. Right shift drive engaged.
Attention. Counting down to jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Choo choo choo. Alrighty.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
You know something, Lynn? They made a correction. On the tritium cost per jump.
What is it?
It's now exactly for a 500 jump. It's 250 units. So we're getting exactly 4 jumps per 1,000 if we're going for max distance now.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, it was 265. Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, we can live with that.
Yeah, we'll get further. Alrighty. System map. Yeah, we got 2 beautiful stars in this system. Hello, yellow ticket. Welcome aboard.
I'm just actually wondering how many more changes are going to happen before the real game comes out.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see the correction on jump distance. Because we got 21 seconds left. Okay. 21 seconds till we can.
Because we were supposed to get 4 jumps per tank, but we wasn't. It was 3.5, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically. And so we were basically spending 265 per 500 instead of the 250 that we're supposed to, and now they've got it at the 250. So that's cool. Good night, A4.
Not A4. Yeah, I don't know too much about the fuel rats. If you get in trouble out here and run out of fuel, they'll come to you, no matter supposedly where you're at. As far as what all they do and stuff, I don't know.
Well, I know a bit about the fuel rats, and they don't do it for tritium, as far as I know. It's only for normal.
Yeah, I think he was just talking about a video. He saw a guy being a fuel rat and thought he'd check out the game.
Ah, okay. The fuel rats are a cool group. I've never, to this point, I have not yet needed their services, and I hope never to. But for those who have needed their service, oh, I'm full of these things again. I gotta delete some more Oops, I overjumped. Uh, 68. Just target it. All you have to do to scan it is target it. It will scan.
Oh, you have to be so close to it too, don't you?
Not really. As long as you can target it,
Okay.
it'll scan.
Yellow says he's still running a GTX 770. Can I run the game on that?
I have a GTX 770 that I'm running it on right now and streaming at the same time.
If you want the game, today is a good time to buy it because you can buy Elite plus Horizons. So Horizons will allow you to land on certain planets that allow you to land for $15. So 75% off.
Great day to buy. Yeah, great day to buy, and yep, you're watching a 770 rendered already. Geez, I thought I had the oldest video card around. I guess not.
I think my old computer probably had the oldest video card in it. It ran it. It was just kind of a little bit sluggy, but it was Hewlett Packard 64-bit from 2007 is when I bought it.
Oh, okay.
On Steam, I guess it's on Steam to sell too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can buy it. It comes with the $15 one comes with Elite Dangerous, Horizons, and did you say the Commander Pack too?
I believe the Commander. Hold on, let me just double check. It's in my other window. Steam, right there. All right. Elite Dangerous Commander Deluxe Edition. Elite Dangerous Commander Pack, Elite Dangerous Horizon Season Pass. 75% off for $14.99.
There you go, $15.
Regularly $60. So that's a steal.
Yep. And no, we don't get a percentage of people we send there to buy.
Nope. Nor when flying in the long-distance Voyager do the Moody Blues pay me for advertising their album. Nor does Death Wish Coffee pay me for when I talk about them. Nope, I have no sponsors. Yes, I have no sponsors.
We're just two people lost out here and amongst these stars.
Yeah.
Carrier jump successful. Telemetry checks in progress.
And I will occasionally talk about the equipment I've got, and none of the manufacturers of those equipment pay me either. So, in fact, somewhere on my site is the my initial review of the Tobii IX4C head and eye tracker, which I did when they first came out with this version, and I was comparing it to their previous model, which did not have the head tracking. And the new model with the head tracking is just hands down better. In fact, I'm never going to go to a head-mounted display because of how well this works. And no, I did not get anything special for reviewing it. I did get it at a reduced price because I was an owner of the previous version and owned Elite Dangerous, so they had a special Commander's Edition for a $50 upgrade. So I upgraded for $50. No review required, but I reviewed it anyway. Anubis,
Yes.
information.
Anubis, first generation integrated AI. I am designed, edited, and voiced by Zenuel. More information on my creator can be found at zenuel.com. I am currently version 1.0. Thank you for downloading me.
I love doing that. And one of these days I'm going to pay him for a few extra props. I've got a few props I want.
Attention. Carrier jump sequence.
It's a shame that he won't discover planets that should be mapped for you.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just through voice attack, so it doesn't even really know about Elite itself.
Like I said, I have that Eddie, EDDI.OI,
Mm-hmm.
and downloaded that one. And he'll tell you, or she'll tell you, whichever one you want, what system it is you're getting ready to jump into, whether there's security or not. And then when you get in here and you honk, then it'll say so many planets, and then it says there's 3 candidates in here that need to be mapped or should be mapped.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do it, then it'll tell you a little bit about the planets.
I may have to add that into my suite of crew members, automated crew members.
And then he'll say, you have reached your destination.
If you can't scan the beacon, you're probably already scanned it.
Okay, so what's one of the reasons why you want to scan the beacon besides scanning the beacon? Are you looking for high, low res, degrade, emissions, encoded emissions? Because if you're just there to shoot the pirates, click on them. Make sure you wait till it says wanted before you shoot, or you're going to get a fine. took a mission to kill a guy. Okay. Okay. Trish, you help him. I've never done that.
Well, he's doing the right thing. You go into the system, you scan the beacon, then you go back up to Super Cruise.
And then it should say something like, your mission target is acquired or has been...
Yeah, something like that. They've changed it since the last time I did it, so I can't say exactly what the prompts are anymore. I hated doing those assassination missions. Because the guy was invariably in a better ship than you are, has wingmates, and it's just like, oh man, it just was too much of a pain in the behind to do. I don't like those missions. I don't like doing them. Yeah.
Bounties, though. If you just wanted bounties, you could just stop in there at the nav beacon and click on every ship and wait for your scan to complete. If it says wanted, just follow the federal service ships around, and when they start firing on them, make sure you get in there before he goes down to zero and put a few pew-pews into his hull, and you get your bounty, plus you get credits, plus you get combat rank.
Yep.
And you're fairly safe to come out with your ship on the other side. And if I can do it, you can do it. I guess I shouldn't say that because he's in a Sidewinder and I was in a cutter.
Well, they also have a lower scale mission for them.
Oh, okay. And you may have to pop back out in Super Cruise and then pop back into the nav beacon and try to scan that beacon again. It could be a glitch.
Could be a glitch, but usually it just scans so quickly you didn't notice, and so you just pop out, and he'll show up as one of the points of interest. And go drop in on him, and hope you're good enough. I really didn't like those.
Yeah, I don't take them to go after pirate name so-and-so.
Maintenance task information is acknowledged. All vessels are prepared for hyperspace.
Attention all ships. Hyperspace travel is imminent. Please maintain a safe distance from the carrier.
But if you were just wanting to go bounty hunting to make credits, just go to the nav beacon and scan each ship. If it says clean, don't shoot at them because you'll get a bounty on yourself or a fine. Don't shoot at a federal ship because they're the good guys, they're the cops. And just shoot at anything that says wanted in red. And as soon as you blow him up, you get credits for it and a bounty.
Attention. Counting down to jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
117.
Lordy, lordy.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
No, we can't see outside when we're jumping. They don't got no windows in here.
I would love to see outside and watch it go through, but well. Alright, looks like it's time to navigate one more round. The carrier has a jump range of 500. My personal jump range on my Anaconda is somewhere over 70.
But if you want that carrier, that's $5 billion just to buy it.
Yeah.
Not to outfit it, just to buy it. Cost of, what was it? Somewhere in the neighborhood of close to $800 million to fill up the fuel tanks and the storage.
Okay, so the purchase cost for the this carrier, as I have it laid out, which is 2 modules short of max, is 5.835 billion credits. It has a 22.85 million credit per week upkeep, which, if you take that out to a year, is 1.1882 billion credits per year. It ain't cheap. And then you get to add jump maintenance on top of that.
And then you add hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of mining.
Yep.
I don't see how some of these people are doing it. They're by themselves. If they're jumping any distance whatsoever, they're going to be forever mining just to fill up the tanks to get to where they're going.
A lot of the people trying it out in beta have been playing this game for as long as I have, and they're playing more hours per week than I do. So I mean, there are people out there with hundreds of billions of credits.
That's true, but when they get so far out there, they can't buy it anymore. They got to mine it.
Yep, and that's where things get interesting. But a lot of them aren't going for distance. Those that are part of the DSSA, and there's a whole support group.
Oh, okay.
For that, I think Aramis was spearheading that. Unfortunately, I didn't get into it quick enough, so my carrier's not going to be registered with that, but it's still going to be way the heck out there.
One way or another.
One way or another, yep, because that's what I want to do with a carrier. And eventually, maybe I'll end up part of the deep space support array, but I guess initially I don't get to. But that's okay. Oh, star's right in front of us this time. Cool. System map.
Be nice when we get out there close to where we want to go, if we could find a system that had tritium right there.
Yeah, it'd make it easier if I ever decide to move it.
So, you got any big plans for tomorrow?
Well, continuation of what I was working on today. Today, what little I did. Today I had a bit of a lazy day, even though I didn't want to. But so today I took a pad sander and a 100 grain paper, and I put a first sand on the computer monitor shelf I've been building. Tomorrow I'm going to hit it with a 220 grit paper, and then hit it with a coat of red mahogany stain.
You gonna use sanding sealer?
Going to use what?
Sanding sealer. That way your mahogany will have an even stain. You won't have light, dark blotches.
Oh, I think the light and dark makes it look better. So no, I wasn't thinking of any sort of prep compound for it.
Okay. Well, like if you do pine, you know, if you put any kind of stain on pine, you'll get that. It looks like a streak effect or something, and it does kind of look shabby. But if you put a coat of sanding sealer on it, and then take you some triple aught or double aught steel wool, and rub it down, then dust it off, and then put your stain over it. It's an even coating. You don't get the blotches.
Oh,
Because
okay.
sometimes, they look really good, and other times it looked like you left your rag there for too long.
Well, we'll see. I'll live and learn, I think. I'm not going back to Home Depot tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be crowded.
But I've done a lot with pine and with the darker stains, and I've never really had a problem. First time for everything, though, I guess. Now that you told me about it, it's going to happen.
It's just everybody's preference. It's most generally people like a uniform color. They don't like splotches or streaks or it's like the wood. Some parts of the wood may be harder, and then a little strip will be real soft, and sort of just absorbs that in there. And the sanding sealer kind of seals the surface that when you put your stain on, it's a uniform. It's that's about the only thing I can say is uniform. But to each their own.
Yep.
I've done pieces without sanding sealer, and they turned out great. And I have done other ones that. And you're using brand new wood, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I've used, like old pieces, like old furniture pieces where they may have had water stains on it.
Oh, yeah.
And you sand the water stain out, but when you stain it,
it's still there.
That surface just don't accept the stain or accepts too much of it. Then you got this round spot, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I can see that with older wood. Yellow, yes, I'm in lockdown. I don't believe Lynn is.
No, I'm not. I'm in Oklahoma. Basically, we didn't have that many here. Some of the mayors tried to lock down the city, and the ranchers came in and said, if you lock us down for any length more than to flatten a curve, we're going to bring 10,000 head of cattle into your town and turn them loose.
Well, that might change some minds.
It did. We're back open. Because, the truth is, they told us, all we got to do is stay home until we flatten the curve, and then everything will be cool.
Yep.
Well, we've done that. Now they're wanting to take us all the way to July, August. No, I don't think so. I've barbecued so much, worked in my garden. That's the only good thing, I live out here, like I said, in Oklahoma. I have 2 acres. It's not like I'm staying in the house. I mean, I'm out doing yard work, planting a garden, pulling weeds when God decides not to rain every other day, So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, barbecue's pretty good. And if you're talking about all the beef, no, I doubt it. Somebody may shoot 1 or 2 of them, but what it was is that, you can't stay locked down forever when you're taking care of livestock, and, you got to transport them to the market, and you got to do this for them. You got to bring the vets to them, and we had 17 people in the county that had been sick, and they all got better, and they were wanting to keep us on lockdown, and everybody's like, no. Well, you'd think that would be essential, but it just depends on who your mayor is. I mean, the one in Michigan says gardening wasn't essential. Well, it puts food on the table. Yeah, it's essential.
Yep. Well, that's why Home Depot's open.
They've never closed.
Nope. They're essential.
But in certain states, you couldn't buy garden supplies or whatever.
That's just dumb.
They're still getting that many yellow? Or was that at the very beginning?
No, that's still.
We'll just stay safe, my friend. Wash your hands. 20 seconds.
Attention. Carrier has entered pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
There's still a lot of states that are on the upswing rather than flat.
Yeah, but Trish, is that because there are like new cases popping, or is it because we got more tests now that we can test more and therefore we're finding them again?
A little bit of both.
But see, the coroner, the guy that does the maybe it's the medical examiner that writes out the death certificate. One just north of me here, a few miles, they got their butts in trouble because a gentleman died in a car accident, and they listed it as COVID-19, but COVID-19 didn't kill him. The car accident did, and they're in deep trouble for padding the numbers.
Yeah. That's a big no-no. Then again, if he tested positive for COVID, they could put it as a co problem.
Well, no, this was the cause of death. I mean, that's just what they said. But how
That's
many
stupid.
more are there like that made the list that shouldn't have made the list?
Hopefully not many.
Please maintain a safe distance from the carrier.
I don't understand that because Oklahoma has 77 counties and we have 80 testing centers here. If we're more well prepared than Washington State, then that's a total joke.
It's a magnitude problem.
Attention, all carrier crew. Right shift drive engaged.
But whatever.
Or governor's problem, and he don't want to spend the money for them.
Well, that's true. You know, problem is,
Counting down to jump.
I mean, you could test the entire population of Oklahoma, but there are more. You know, if you look at New York City, there's more people in New York City than all of Oklahoma.
Oh, true.
So, yeah, there's magnitude issues.
Yeah, but we all could be tested today, and tomorrow over a quarter of us or half of us could test again, and we'd be positive because.
Yep.
So you just wasted a good test on somebody who didn't have it yesterday, but today they got it.
Yep. And the tests aren't as accurate as they should be yet. They need better ones.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. How many will pop, false positives or even false negatives? Hell, I mean, it could go either way.
Yep, it goes either way. And all tests have a certain measure of both. Oh, $25K for this system.
I got 25,000.
Yep, $25K.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 9. Sorry.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Supermax, you're funny. Yes. If I can do it, then anybody that, I've never played. The only other video game I've played is Farmville 2. And if I can play Elite Dangerous and get to where I am now, yeah, anybody can play.
Talk about going opposite end of the spectrum.
What?
Going from Farmville to this in one jump.
Yeah. Yep. At 62 years old, you can teach old dogs new tricks. Information? No, I'm just on the carrier riding along out here just for the kicks and grins. when Mr. Trish gets done waiting for the timer and he does all this thing, he goes up on top. I'll bring my cutter up there, and that way you can see where I'm at. But when you jump, you go inside the cutter and you get locked down for the jump. And then when you come out on the other side, you can either remain in there and wait for, and just keep jumping like that, or you can come up, kind of look around, take off, or whatever you want to do.
Yep. So let's schedule that next jump. Now that the timer has expired. Still a ton of stars. Good enough. Woohoo! Jump 70! Smuggler traffic. Sure.
About 25 minutes. You get a 15-minute cool down. What is it? 5 minutes?
Okay, for carriers, it's different than for all the other ships. The time between jumps in non-carrier ships is about 30 seconds at best. Sometimes as much as a minute, depending on what happens. The carrier, there is a 5-minute cooldown, after which you can plot your next jump. It then takes 15 minutes for the carrier to spool up, and the jump sequence itself is about 5 minutes. So it's a little over 25 minutes per jump.
Yeah, I always get those two backwards.
System map. Ooh, there's a lot we're missing here. But given how cheap the system is, they're all ice balls. Now, you want to see Lynn. Okay. I'll go into the external cam. Ooh, I end up being a different color this time. Cool. I love this paint job and how it changes in every different type of lighting. Ends up in off pink. Nice. Anyway, I need my foot pedals. Change my orientation. And Lynn's ship is over here. We're going 500 light years a jump in a carrier, which is like 6 times what my ship can jump, and close to. What's your jump range? 35?
25 right now with all the mining equipment.
Okay, so it's 20 times what Lynn's ship can jump. So all of the smaller ships, it depends how you outfit your ship, and different ships have different maximums. If you really truly wanted to get an Anaconda to go at the absolute maximum distance, and you'd have to be really careful with it because you only have one jump per, you can get it to jump 90 light years. but you always have to make sure you land at a jumpable star because you don't have a refuel at 90 light years. Mine's currently kitted out. Just here, let me go into the. I'll go back inside. Actually, I probably didn't have to. Actually, I didn't have to. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
I could have done it right here. So if I go here, okay, right now I'm at I'm at about 60. But that's because I've got stuff on here. So I guess I do have to go into here. Outfitting. Yeah, with the mining lasers and everything else, I'm running about 60. Current 58.25.
And don't be confused, that 61 light year jump, that's dang near empty in the fuel tank.
Yeah.
Attention. This carrier has scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any remaining business in this system prior to departure. Carrier jump successful. Telemetry checks in progress.
It's funny, it does all the telemetry checks, and by then I've already set up the next jump.
John, don't give up. You'll be cruising around there, and pretty soon you're going to hit a mission objective has been detected. And then you have to go and look to see where it's marked. Now you have to go into...
I have abandoned those missions before and just gone and done something else because they're just a pain.
Yes, the more mass you carry, the less you can jump. Or the more, if you carry a lot of cargo, the less you can jump.
You know, that equates to mass too, yeah. And then you can do some things to exchange your jump range. Actually, let me go back in. I can't show you a whole lot because I don't have any stock on the carrier of the other modules. So if I go into...
Attention. Carrier jump sequence is underway. Lockdown begins in 5 minutes.
So I've got A is the top rating. So I've got a class 6 frame shift drive that's A rated. And then I've done some engineering on it with the engineers. Where's the engineers workshop? Oh, it's here at the end. So if I look at my frame shift drive, or FSD, I have a grade 5 increased range on this. So that gets me a lot more distance. So I've got pretty close to the best frame shift drive that you can for this ship. Engineered is about as far out as it'll go. There's one more thing I can do to get a little more range off it. I got to change the experimental effect to a different one, and that will get me further. Another, I think, half a light year. And then you can, you can get different components have different weights to them, and you can get modifications to reduce your weight and all sorts of other things. So you can really engineer your ship to go quite some distance.
Any passengers who wish to remain in this system must depart the carrier at once.
distance from the carrier.
Attention, all carrier crew. Frameshift drive engaged.
Attention. Counting down to jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
And we're here.
We're here. $187K.
Nice.
Another one that goes on the list of, hey, we better look around here. Although I have a feeling we're going to look around after every jump.
Get out and stretch the legs.
Yeah. I mean, it'll take it longer to get out there, but it'll be more fun. Because we'll actually get to see everything.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
So there's about 20 jumps left in fuel.
And how many jumps are we from our final destination?
Well, let's find out. A little more than twice that. So that's 22, so 44 jumps. We only have fuel for 20. Definitely gonna need some mining.
Yep. Sure shame that we can't find us a triple hotspot.
Well, I mean, that's another part of the, get out and look all the way out, since we know we're not going to be able to refuel at the Galactic Center.
Yeah.
So we'll look for hotspots on the way out. And I don't know if you want to sit around for another jump or not, Lynn, but I think tonight's the last night I'm going to stay in beta. I'll go live tomorrow, whether or not, yeah, whether or not the beta is itself is live. I will go. Oh, whether or not the beta is still running, I'll go back into live tomorrow.
Okay, that's no worries.
But I should select the next system so that I can mark it on my spreadsheet.
Right.
And
That'll
if,
just be one less we have to plot.
yep.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll probably take the next, at least the rest of May, and mine low temp diamonds to make up for my Corvette and all the A-rated stuff I put on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I might just leave my cutter here at Jameson Memorial and bring my diamond back here and then scoot out to that one to get some palladium.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe unlock a few engineers before the carrier comes out. That's if you want me to help you. I don't, you may say, I'll just do it myself.
I certainly don't mind the help. I mean, it will go faster with help. That's for certain.
Yeah.
All right, so this will be the next jump. I'll plot it. What the heck? All right, I'll write that down in the spreadsheet. And that's as far as the spreadsheet goes. Okay. So you're welcome to stick around and figure out what that system is. That's up to you. But
See if there's anything in it worth, in case the beta does end tomorrow, at least I'll know what the last system that we jumped to has in it.
mm-hmm.
Get that wrote down, and then I'll call it a night.
Okay. Well, I'm going to call it a night now, and we'll pick it up. I'll pick it up tomorrow night in the live game, not the beta. I got to mine some more. I've got to engineer a few things, and prepare for this mission, which does include. I might take a night or two and go material gathering and gather a bunch of raw materials.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I need to do that. I mean, just the palladium, really. I've got quite a bit of everything else.
Yeah, well, I'm going to fill up in just about everything, and that'll allow me to engineer a little bit. It'll allow me to whatever. And I'll.
What are you engineering now?
When I take the carrier out, the carrier. When I take the carrier out, I'm going to have a different shield on the cutter, so that I have more cargo. You're welcome, Yellow. Always happy to answer questions. Yeah, so I'm going to engineer I think a 6C biweave. So it's, fast charge.
Yeah.
I don't really need high, I don't need it to be super anything. So 6C is just fine. Actually, I probably could go 6D just for the weight. get a little more jump range out of it, and then change it to, and with the 6D, engineer it with efficient low powered, which is the no negative shield modification. So that sounds like something I'll do, which will give me more cargo, which will allow me to basically mine efficiently out here. Oh, thank you very much for the subscription. And so that'll be the plan for that. What I may do is I may engineer that, go gather a bunch of materials of all three types, because I'm basically out of everything, and then mine the rest of the time and just see how much money I can accumulate ahead. So anyway, that's all I've got time for tonight. I'll pick this up tomorrow, 8 p.m. as usual, but instead of in beta, we'll be live in the live game. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for your help in this trip and testing the ship out, Lynn.
Anytime.
Next we can do this for
real.
For real. Where we actually get credit for all these systems we explore.
Yeah. I can't hardly wait, especially for the trip back. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm the other end of nowhere. Actually, when we go out there, you might as well go the rest of the way to Beagle Point.
How far is that?
It's another 15.
Oh, God. Oh, I might leave that for something else. Oh.
Yeah, well, Google how to get there first on a ship. You're going to need to use FSD boosts. Guaranteed.
Okay.
It's some of the jumps are rather long.
Large.
Yeah, there's a couple of 35s in there, on the.
Wow.
Yeah, on the route that's for the lowest jump range ships. It has 2 35 light year jumps.
Okay.
Everything else is under 30, but there's 2 35s on the route.
Okay. But where we're going, it should be a hop, skip, and a jump back to the bubble, right?
No. Where we're going is 55,000 light years from the bubble.
Oh, I know it, but what I meant is I should be able to get back with the 25, 28.
Oh, yeah. There's no problem. No problem with the 25 getting home. It's that last bit, and I would look up, Google the routes to Beagle Point. There are a couple of mapped routes that are known, and so all you have to do is navigate to somewhere along the mapped route, and then just follow it the rest of the way. Oh, you're welcome, John. Glad to help.
Guys, let me tell you something. You can learn if you click on Trish and go to where all of his videos are loaded, and you sit there. He doesn't walk you step by step, but he shows you the process that you go through. Like in engineering or gathering up the materials in the nav beacon, bounty hunting, different things. And if you just watch a few of his videos, you'll get a better idea and a better understanding. And he helped me out a lot, and that's all I can say. I mean, if you just watch how he takes on some of these pirates with his cutter, you'll be like, yeah!
Yeah, in some ways I wish I'd started up my YouTube channel back when I started up the game, so you could see the progression from Sidewinder up, and all the learning I had to do, all the times I got blown up because I didn't know how to tell when I was out of in a confrontation. I just had no hope of winning.
Carrier jump sequence is underway. Lockdown begins in 5 minutes.
So there was a lot of learning at the beginning that you don't get to see because when I started doing videos, it was at the beginning of the first Distant Worlds trip. Um, and so you get to see this ship, the long distance Voyager, get blown up a couple of times. Uh, almost get blown up another time when I ended up coming into a system with what's called a contact binary system, where there's two stars that are so close together that you end up scooping from both of them at the same time if you're in between them, and you end up heating up real fast. I took a lot of heat damage from that babe. Oh man, that was nasty. Um, but And then the second one where the graphics load was too big. The second Distant Worlds where the graphics load was too great for my graphics card. I had to tune back a little bit on the how aggressive it was running. Um, but I didn't realize that was the problem, and it didn't render the ground, and I ended up driving my surface reconnaissance vehicle off a cliff that I couldn't see. Uh, whoops. So yeah, there was things that happened. The game also improved their handling of bitmap loading and graphics rendering, so that I haven't seen that problem since they fixed it. Um, but I'm kind of overdriving the card a little bit at this point because I upgraded to a 2K monitor, and the GTX 770 is a little underpowered for a 2K monitor. 1K would have been fine. Um, but I have made some adjustments to the settings for the 2K card, and now it runs fine. Basically, I set it to never slow down. Um, so it just gets, when it doesn't have a lot to draw, it gets insane frame rates, and then it gets down to around 60 when it gets busy. Um, so I just took off the frame rate limiter and run the card at full bore, and then I don't have any problems. Um, but yeah. Oh, it's a great card. But if you do have a 2K monitor, I would suggest going to the NVIDIA control panel and setting the in the advanced settings, set it to prefer performance. Whoops, that can happen. Um,
Here's a question for you, Trish.
yep.
Say we're live tomorrow, and I'm someplace else, way over here, and you're way over there. Are we going to be able to still talk to each other, or do you have to be close to the systems?
Okay, I can open up, instead of winging with you, I can open up a voice chat.
Oh, okay.
And we don't even have to, I could be in open and you could be in private, and I can still open up a voice chat. Doesn't matter.
Well, I've never done that before, and it may be something these guys want to know. And
yep. And actually, why don't I drop you out of the wing, and I'll open up a voice chat, and we can go over how to do that.
Okay.
So we'll go over here, options, and I'll leave the wing. And then send a voice comms request. And there you go. Now we're not.
Okay.
Now we're not in. Well, actually, still lists me as leaving the wing. We've still got a few seconds left on that. There we go. I'm out of the wing. And the voice comms are open.
Okay. Well, that way, if you need to, or if I need, or whatever, we need to get a hold of each other and we're in the game, then you could get a hold of me and say, hey, we need to do this or that for the carrier or whatever.
Yep.
All services have been suspended.
Oh, looks like I might as well plot one more jump. Sorry. That happens.
Well, that'll be a 72 then.
Yep. I better open the spreadsheet again. Mouse is over there. Excel is over there.
Landing pads retracted. Hangar base secured.
Your name on Elite is Surface?
Aha.
Okay. Or since you're in there, you can just type in my name, which is exactly like it is here, except no space. Send me a friend request, because I don't know. Can I get out of this and friend him without messing up the jump?
Yeah, you can leave at any time.
Okay.
And the friend request would also be waiting for you whenever you leave, so.
All decks are prepared for hyperspace.
Attention all ships.
No, it says no result.
Maintain a safe distance from the carrier.
No, you won't find him from within beta because he's in live.
Oh, okay.
So you'd have to go out to the main menu or go out to the main menu and then into live, and you could accept. But if he sends you the request, it should be waiting for you at the. Well, now you'll have to drop out of the beta instance.
Yeah, no, I'll wait.
So, but his request will be sitting in the queue waiting for you when you go into the live game.
Okay.
Okay.
Attention. Counting down to jump.
I better write that down because I'm horrible at forgetting things.
3, 2, 1.
Oh God, I hate it when that happens. I hate the auto dock. It's usually pretty good, but every once in a while.
Yeah, it'll scrape the sides.
And I will say the same thing to you guys that I say to all new players. Well, no, if you're in solo, you're still live. You don't have to be in open. Solo's just fine. If you're solo, you're still live. What we're talking about with live is the live server versus the beta server. It doesn't have to do with the game mode you're in.
See, we're testing out the carrier, and it's in a beta server, so therefore we're not in the same realm
game
as you guys are.
Yeah. This is the beta for the version of the game that's coming out in July. Or is it June? I forget. So we're here trying out the new features, which is basically the carrier.
If you're in solo, you can go hit escape and go into social and type in my name, hit it, and it'll show you that I'm there. You click on it and you send a friend's request, and then you hit resume, and it puts you right back where you was in the game.
System map. Ooh, there's a lot of things in between us here. Okay. You get first on it because we're no longer in the wing.
Uh-oh.
It's okay.
Forget about that.
That's okay. It's fine. I was going to bail before this jump anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna all be erased anyways tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah.
You're welcome, John.
Ooh, the lighting. Oh, nice. I'm going to have to go topside for this one. Isn't that pretty? Looks like the stars right in front of the ship. Damn. Wonder what color my ship's going to look like. Well, that's one of the fun things about this paint job is you never know exactly what color your ship's going to be when you pull in somewhere. It's so random.
I think mine just stays the same color.
Well, yeah, but the whole... I could see you coming up to the surface. That's funny.
Yeah.
The whole point of the Iridium Gleam paint job is that it's a whole bunch of different colors in together, and depending on the lighting and how the lighting hits the angles of the surface of the ship will bring out different colors. So it's a very, very variable paint job. Stars are starting to spread out a little bit. There we go, we're in the right area.
Way to go, yellow ticket. Congratulations.
Nice. Okay, write this one in. $2,996. All right, one further plot. Okie dokie. So really, I'm really done for the night now. Well, let me put.
Hello, Vin.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I've been playing this since the game was first. It was like a week after the game was first released publicly. I didn't play in the initial alphas or betas, um, and I still can't get enough of it. Um, so welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. You are coming in right at the end of the stream. I basically was leaving the stream about 15 minutes ago, and I'm still here. But this game basically it's a simulation of the entire Milky Way galaxy, all 400 billion stars of it, and where it blows away every other other space game that's ever come along is in the flying of the spaceships. This is about as real a spaceship flying as you can get, and it still have a game. It is absolutely amazing how these ships handle, how realistic the motion can be. If you turn the flight assist off and actually fly it without the computer assist, you're flying pure Newtonian physics, and man, it is crazy amazing. And hard to control because it's pure Newtonian physics, which is why you generally use flight assist because makes handling the ship a lot easier. Getting standard even today in today's advanced fighters. The pilots have a throttle and stick, but it's not a direct link to the controls. It goes into the computer, and the computer interprets what the pilot wants it to do and executes on the hardware a set of complex functions to get it to do what the pilot wants it to do. And with flight assist on, that's kind of the mode you're flying in. And the ships handle like they should, for the most part. In the live game right now, the ships, the bigger ships really don't have the inertia that their mass would really have. One of the things that looks like they've improved in here in the beta, which will be live, I think sometime next month, is the inertial models for the larger ships have been changed to be more realistic. And boy, you make a turn with these things. Yep, fly by wire. But and in the beta, you make a turn in these big ships, and you've got inertia to overcome. If you're going in full throttle in one direction and want to try and take a sharp turn, the big ships just can't do it. They get a lot of side slip, and it's from flying around on the planets on here in the beta. It really feels real now, which is amazing. It's just an amazing feeling when you're flying in one of these huge ships, and you go to take a sharp turn, and it just slews and slides to the side before the thrusters are able to overcome it and get you going forward in the direction you were intending to go. So the flight dynamics and the inertial models are just absolutely amazing. The smaller ships, of course, you can whip around a corner real quick because they've got a better thrust to weight ratio, or thrust to mass, technically. Since a lot of times you're not dealing with the atmospheric, so you don't deal with gravity as well until you're actually flying down on a planet where you're dealing with gravity and everything else.
Chris, turn around and show him the back behind you.
Oh, you get a little closer to the monitor. So there's one of the co-pilot seats, and then I can look over the other one.
Attention all passengers. This carrier has scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any remaining business in this system prior to departure.
a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any remaining business in this system prior to departure.
So when I
Carrier jump successful. Telemetry checks in progress.
it is hard for beginners because you actually have to learn to fly. One of the things I always suggest to beginners is go through the tutorials so that you're making your mistakes and blowing up a ship that you don't have to pay for. It's a cheap sidewinder in the simulations, but it's not yours. It's a test one. That way you're not losing money trying to learn how to get out into and out of a space station, basic combat, etc. Go through them over and over and over again until you're comfortable flying a ship, both when you're just going from one place to another and when you're in combat. You really want to be, train yourself to the point where you're comfortable flying it, because it's about as realistic as any piece of software has ever been able to make spaceship flight. So I mean, you'll see me do things in the other videos with the cutter and other stuff, but I've got 4 or 5 years flying time. So I got a bit of experience, and I don't even consider myself a very good pilot. Some of the guys out there, I don't know how they pull the maneuvers off they pull, but there are definitely people out there who really know how to fly a ship, and they can spin them around a lot faster than I can. They know all the tricks. Right, which is why, yes, flying 7.5 months is why you're still a little timid on some things, because you just haven't done it enough. And you will get better. It's like a Microsoft Flight Simulator on steroids, yes. Because, first of all, unlike Microsoft Flight Simulator, you have combat. Unlike Microsoft Flight Simulator, you have a mission system. Unlike Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's an economy. So you can mine. You can mine asteroids. You gather raw materials for engineering on planets, and in other ways of doing it. And you can do trading, piracy, bounty hunting, exploration. They published a number last year, or this past Christmas, where the players in this game have at this point only explored 0.46% of the galaxy.
Oh, and let's don't forget, we also have Thargoids, which are aliens out here that will blow you up.
That's true. I avoid them. So this game is absolutely
something for everybody.
It's got something for everybody, and and it's got 3 modes you can play in, and all 3 modes. Oh, geez, I'm going to be around for another jump, aren't I? At least I don't have to work tomorrow. It's Memorial Day. So, Microsoft Flight Simulator is a flight simulator. You can take off and land at airports and fly around. There's no real background simulation. They do have ways that you can purchase to get more airports and to have multi-person interaction, where some people will be, will pretend they're flight control and stuff like that. Well, this doesn't have this doesn't have no way to play a tower personnel. But instead of that, you've got the best spaceship flight simulator ever, with 400 billion stars from the Milky Way galaxy, which are taken directly from the known star maps. And one of the interesting things about this is everything, if something is discovered by scientists, usually around 3 to 6 months, it's in the game. So if, say the scientists, with the telescopes, pick out there's 6 planets of these different types around this certain star. Well, they'll change the background simulation in-game to match. So nice. Thank you for your service, Yellow Ticket. I really do appreciate veterans. Veterans are the people who earn the freedom that I enjoy, and I'm very thankful. I don't mind explaining at all.
Are you hanging for this jump?
How far have we got till jump?
3 minutes, 4 minutes? Okay.
Oh, I shouldn't, since it's almost midnight. All right, so I'm gonna bail because it's midnight and I need to get some sleep. Thank you for reminding me, Lynn. I would go on talking and explaining stuff until whenever, because people keep asking questions.
Well, I was going to say, if you're going to stay, you wing up so we can both get credit for the next system.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to leave in time, so. Not that it really matters since it's beta and it all goes away tomorrow, but.
Yeah, but. Well, best regards from the USA, Brazil. Good to have you aboard.
Guess I'll end up sticking around for the jump since it's about to go off anyway, and I love hearing it.
Do you ever dream of that sound?
It won't be long before I do, that's for sure. I don't think I'm going to manage to get out before it jumps. Oh well, that's okay. It's midnight, sure. Schedule one more, keep it going. But I do a lot of times find myself just sticking around, and if people are asking questions, I stick around and answer them. That's interesting. The leaving wing thing is still stuck up there.
Attention all ships. Hyperspace travel is imminent. Please maintain a safe distance from the carrier.
So I think if I end up with strange streaks, I'll just put another coat of stain. That should take care of it. Oh, the sound team at Frontier, I mean, oh my God, they outdid themselves. This is amazing.
Yes, if you watch his ship real close, you'll see it rock back when we take off, and then when we land, you'll see it rock forward. It's all pretty cool.
And it's not. I don't think it's so much rocking forward as it's getting stretched and then compressed.
Well, that could be true too.
As we're getting sucked into the hyper portal, it stretches out. And when we come out the other end, it compresses a bit. Yeah. You hear everything locking in as it would, echoing through the ship hangars. Oh my goodness, it's just amazing. Whatever sound engineers and sound designers they have over there, for the carrier update, they just outdid themselves. And here we are at the next system. Alrighty. And this system is 101. So this is another system we want to pay a bit of attention to.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
There we go. Ship is full again. And only 2.5 minutes to the next jump. Or the next time I can plot one. Wonder why not. I don't think she has to be in the main game already.
Sometimes Elite can be temperamental.
Yeah. It can be. And again, with everybody in, jumping in beta to try out commanders.
Okay. Well, John, if I leave down, see, I have to exit plumb out of beta and then go back into the real game. So I'll wait till we finish this jump, and then I'll jump back in there and send you requests. If not, we'll be here tomorrow night, and we'll work through it.
Yep.
To get you as a friend.
Tomorrow night we'll be in the live game rather than the beta. So. But I have to say, this beta has been a lot of fun. I'm really going to enjoy taking the carrier out there and then just leaving it and knowing it's out there.
Yeah. I would just hate to have to be you to come all the way back to the bubble and then decide 1 month, I think I'll go back to the carrier, and then you have to go all the way back out, 55,000 light years back out. Oh, it's like, oh my God.
It's a long ways. But having made the trip twice, I don't really dread it.
Yeah.
Hey, 496.
It will definitely be a trip for me because that's, 12,000, 13,000 light years is as far out as I've been. So 55 is going to be testing my, it's going to be testing.
It will be. My first trip out was quite the test.
It's a good thing I like to explore.
Yep. And that's the real key. You just have to like it. It's just going to be... Well, and it's easier now because, I mean, you now know where there's the a station at the center of the galaxy. So you can break it up. So you could go, say, from the carrier back to the center of the galaxy to Colonia, Colonia back to the bubble. So you can break it up.
Why would I go to Colonia? Is Colonia closer?
It's kind of, it's out of the way, but it's breaks it into 2 shorter trips. And
Okay.
the other thing is you could unlock the engineers out of Colonia.
Yeah, okay. I think I got one unlocked. I got to get the other, 2 or 3 out there?
Yeah.
I got to get an invitation.
And you could always go back and look at my my videos on how to unlock those guys, and then you'd know how to do that.
Yeah, I remember the one. You had to go collect 25 escape pods.
Oh God, that was a pain.
Oh.
Especially when I screwed up and got them to attack me.
Yeah.
All right, so at this point, I think I'm going to call it the end of my journey in the beta. And I think what I'll do is I will pop over to the main game, and I'll see if I can't get the friend request out. But yeah, this has been a fun beta. What'd you do? Melt yourself again? All right. Well, have a good night, everyone. It was great having you along. I'm happy to answer your questions. And we'll pick this up tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, in the live game. Have a good night, everyone. That's all for now. This is Trice Majestus, signing out.